Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I'm joined with Ben Warner on another episode of the Shotgun Sports Podcast. So let me open that. Today, we have multiple topics to talk about, all regarding basketball, the bubble, in Orlando. Jim Boylen fired. The only story that is not in that realm, but the Suns missed the playoffs. Grizzlies and Blazers will be the Western Conference AC playing game. The Eastern Conference playoff picture is finalized. The last regular season games are today. And Ben and I's predictions for this year's playoffs. Ben, I'm going to start with you. What is your take on the Jim Boylen firing?
I texted Brad an article I saw on ESPN at 9 a.m. and I just said finally, because that's how I feel about the whole Jim Boylen situation. He clearly wasn't the right fit for this job. Had one of the worst overall win percentages as a Bulls head coach, only ahead of Tim Floyd. I think the Bulls won around 35% of the games that Jim Boylen coached. And for the talent level on that team, that's unacceptable. Also, players did not seem to like him at all. Zach LaVine had many incidents where he was either supportive of firing Jim Boylen.
Yeah, or they all hated him.
None of them really liked him.
It was a consensus from the team other than Ryan Arcidiacono as
yeah, Jim Boylen loved Ryan Arcidiacono.
The only reason why, honestly, Ryan Arcidiacono will ever start a game in the NBA is because of Jim Boylen. I commend him on that. I'm a huge Ryan Arcidiacono fan. Go Cats, but
I think Jim Boylen will probably
stupid coach. He got there because he was in the system for a while as the top assistant head coach. He was under the Greg Popovich coaching tree. Literally, only reason why. I don't know what they saw other than that, and I think you need more than just that.
It was because Garpax loved him. Once we got Arvidas, I'm pretty sure everyone knew.
He was listening to the players. Him and Mark Eversley made it their number one mission to listen to the players, see what they had to say about it. And of course, we all know the players did not want Jim Boylen as their coach. And then a few weeks ago, we heard that they may not be able to get rid of Jim Boylen due to financial reasons, which was frustrating to say the least. But to see him gone is such relief. This could be a dream off season for the Bulls. I've been saying it. Anthony Davis to Chicago. We have the money. We trade our top pick for a Bradley Beal, a DeMar DeRozan, a Tobias Harris, a top 10 small forward, DeMar DeRozan, and Bradley Beal are more likely since those teams are not contenders. But we trade our pick, our first round top, hopefully 5 pick, for one of those studs. We get Anthony Davis, we're a title contender ASAP. Zach LaVine, Anthony Davis, one of those 3 small forwards. We're so chilling.
I think that's a bit optimistic, but I think firing Jim Boylen was the first step towards the Bulls making the playoffs again. I think next year that should be the goal. No matter what we do in the offseason, I think, as long as we're not just selling, I think that the Bulls should try to make the playoffs next year. And which coaches do you think are the best fits in Chicago? We don't have a coach right now. Who do you think is a good idea to hire?
Hey, if the Nets don't want to keep their coach, I forget his name at this current.
Jack Vaughn. Jack Vaughn.
If they don't want Jack Vaughn, I want him. Ben and I watched the Blazers Nets game last night, and I have a lot to say about that Nets team, but Jack Vaughn. He led that group. I think their best 5 players like Joe Harris, Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, and 2 people who shouldn't even be in the league. I don't care who it's like Lance Thomas, reserve on the Pistons and Knicks. And then who else? I don't even know who their other guy who was getting meaningful minutes was. But just what I'm trying to say is not NBA starter level players, and they rallied together. Even though they didn't need it, they solidified their spot in the playoffs against the Blazers to see what they could do. Then something has happened. Probably going to get a phone call here soon. Sorry, I know we have a viewer. This doesn't happen often. Give me one moment. Let me talk to Ben. All right, it seems that something has popped up. Shabazz Napier starter for them. Thank you, Greg. Thank you. Here we go. He's back. Ben, you're back.
Horrible Wi-Fi issues. I'm back. I moved.
We have another comment from Greg Hughes. He's saying Shabazz Napier started for them. Thank you, Greg. I think he's a Blazer, but I appreciate it.
He is now a wizard.
Oh, now a Wizard. All right. Next topic, Ben. We went from Jim Boylen to the game last night. I want to talk about the Suns. Of course, we see your name, Phoenix Fallen. Miles M commented that. It's so sad. I mean, just the run they had, their Twitter account made it even better. Just an incredible run, and it's sad that it came to an end.
So I just want to say I was watching a game, and Stan Van Gundy was commentating. He said this could be the best possible thing that happens for Phoenix. You win all 8 games in the bubble, and they're not going to have a letdown. They're going to go into the offseason on a really strong note. They're not going to lose a playoff series. They're going to go straight to the offseason, and they're going to get to work because they're going to be hungry. I think they're going in with the best possible mindset. They've been dominant, and I think this might actually be a blessing in disguise for Phoenix. I doubt they would have done anything had they gotten into the play-in game. I think the Blazers were too good this year. So I think that maybe going 8 straight wins to end the year is about as good a thing as could have happened for Phoenix.
Hey, I agree with that too. I mean, Devin Booker said this will make a big impact for years to come for the Suns and for Phoenix basketball. I just thought it was an underdog story. Of course, you see Devin Booker drop all those points, had the buzzer beater against the Clippers. See the rest of their team come together. A bunch of random subs. They had I'm forgetting the names now. Well, Mikal Bridges,
Javon Carter,
Campaign, yeah. A few other guys too. Just some big random dudes stepping up, and that was really cool to see. Of course, Campaign was an outcast on the Thunder, on the Bulls. It's just trying to get a job, and all of a sudden the Suns come calling, and now he's probably solidified himself for another year or two in the league. So just stuff like that are awesome. Same thing with Javon Carter. That was definitely hard to watch, hard to see happen. Grizzlies versus Blazers will be playing in the playing game, of course, because Blazers beat the Nets last night by 1 point. Fantastic game. Ben, who do you have winning that? I think it's pretty obvious. I have the Blazers.
Yeah, I'm disappointed that the Grizzlies made it to the play-in game. Going 2-6, they did everything they could to lose. They didn't look prepared for the bubble. Ja Morant struggled badly, shot 23% from 3. And the Grizzlies basically benefited because the Bucks were not starting their good players. They were starting a bunch of bench warmers. They didn't care about the game. The Grizzlies won a game that the Bucks basically threw away, and that's how they got into the play-in game. The Blazers won a game that they needed to win, and Damian Lillard carried them through this bubble. I think they're really a great team right now. I think if they played the whole season like they're playing right now, they'd be a top 4 seed in the West. So I think that they're easily going to beat the Grizzlies in the first game of the play-in.
I agree with that as well. It's just sad to not see the Suns there. Of course, I think every single fan, even if you're a Grizzlies fan, you want to see the Suns. If you're a Grizzlies fan, maybe not, but every fan except a Grizzlies fan, except Blazers fans as well, because they know the Suns can make a run at them. Want to see Blazers, Suns, or Grizzlies, Suns. Next topic we're going to talk about is the Eastern Conference playoff standings. They are finalized. They were finalized as of about 36 hours ago. With the Bucks at 1, Raptors at 2, Celtics at 3, Heat at 4, Pacers at 5, 76ers at 6, Brooklyn Nets at 7, and the Orlando Magic at 8. Ben, any teams too high, too low, good matchups? What's your take on these standings?
I have a few takes on the East. I'll start at the bottom. I'm pretty shocked that the Magic weren't able to pass the Nets to be the 7th seed and avoid the Bucks in the first round. They had all their guys healthy, and they said they were ready for a good bubble performance. They performed badly in the bubble, and the Nets were shockingly good. So the Nets managed to avoid the Bucks, who in my opinion are by far the best team in the East. And maybe they'll make a run at the Raptors. I doubt it. That brings me to my next topic, which is that maybe the East isn't so non-balanced. I think the Bucks looked like they were the best team by far in the East throughout the season, but in the bubble, I think the Raptors and the Celtics and even the Heat proved that they were able to stay with the Bucks, and I think all 4 of those teams are contenders to get out of the East. So I'm excited to see how the East playoffs shake out. I wouldn't be shocked with any one of those teams making to the finals, especially the Raptors and the Celtics.
Good takes coming from Ben. I personally only have 4 teams that I think could really make a big impact. Bucks, Raptors, Heat, Pacers. Yes, I excluded the 3 seed Celtics from that. I've never been a big Celtics fan. I think they're overrated every single year. I mean, they haven't made the Eastern Conference Finals once in the last few years. Of course, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett. That was 10 years ago. Have they been? Am I wrong?
I think you're wrong about that one. I think with Jason Tatum leading
Yeah,
them previous year.
against the Cavs?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I do remember that. In the last 2 years, 3 years. Because that was 2017, so that was 2 years. But regardless, I like the Pacers more than I like the Celtics. I just think Domantas Sabonis is really carrying them right now. Sure, Victor Oladipo isn't there. But I really think if you can get your 2 big men going, I don't care if it's college, I don't care if it's high school. I just think big men, hot, are just better than anything. You get them in the pace, you get your shooters going on the outside. They have Bogdanovic. They have a dangerous team, and I really like the Pacers going into these playoffs. Sure, they have a hard matchup against the Heat. I think those 2 teams deserve to be getting out of the first round, both of them, but one of them will, one of them won't. They'll be tested, though. They'll be tested.
Well, so I just want to note, Domantas Sabonis was not playing in the bubble, and the Pacers still won 5.
What? I did not know this.
Neither him or Miles Turner, neither of them were playing, and the Pacers still managed to go 4-3.
Will they be playing in the playoffs?
Domantas Sabonis will be returning, which is big. But TJ Warren and Victor Oladipo were leading them.
I thought Victor Oladipo wasn't playing.
No, he was playing. TJ Warren and Victor Oladipo were leading them.
I do not know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry, viewers, but my fault. Well, that's big to know. Ben.
But that only helps their chances with him back.
That's right. Only helps their chances. Ben, I want to talk about the regular season scrimmage games. Have you been watching a lot of them? Have you been keeping up with it? How do you like the format? How do you like the arena? How do you think it'll be different in the playoffs?
Well, obviously this was kind of a test out process. We didn't quite know how it would shake out, but I think it's been a positive outcome for the NBA. The arenas, they've done about as good a job as they could have done. They've tried to put logos on. They've tried to have the fan noise. They've put the virtual fans on the sidelines, and I think it's actually worked out pretty well. I think there is not as big of a home court advantage. There really isn't much of a home court advantage, but I think that for what they did, it worked pretty well. And one other thing I'm noticing about the courts, players are stepping out of bounds a lot more than they did in the normal because there's no actual fans around the court, so they don't really have the same perception. Just something to take notice of if in a clutch situation that happens.
I was watching a YouTube video a few weeks ago on how the depth perception is different because regular arenas have fans like going up the stadium, arches up out of the stadium.
That's a big thing.
I mean, when you shoot the ball, it doesn't you shoot lower in the bubble than you usually shoot. So just something to keep in mind as well. It definitely changes how you have to shoot. So these big players have definitely been working on these courts, getting their new rhythm down because, I mean, even a few inches changes a lot. Final topic, Ben and I's playoff predictions. We did this a few months ago, it is now. I can pull that up here, actually. I want to see how much we.
Oh gosh, this is gonna be bad.
How different it is. This is before the bubble even started. I think right after the bubble was announced. Here we go. Pulling it up now. Screen share. Here we go. All right. You see the screen? Milwaukee Bucks versus the Brooklyn Nets. That was my prediction. I was close. Brooklyn Nets are now 7. Bucks are, of course, 1.
I do.
Then at the Bucks winning in 5 with the same matchup. Next one was Raptors Magic. Close, but you switch around the Nets and you switch around the Magic. Ben had the Raptors winning in 4 in that series. Heat Pacers. It is the Heat and the Pacers, but
both of those were wrong.
Pacers are a 5. Yeah, the seeding's messed up, but interesting. Next is Celtics 76ers. That is happening, but 3-6.
So we both, yeah.
And Ben was not. He did the wrong thing. But second round, we move on. Milwaukee Bucks versus the Boston Celtics. I had the Bucks winning in 4. That matchup cannot happen. It will be the Bucks or the Magic against the Heat or the Pacers. Next, we have the Raptors and the Heat. Will not happen as well. Cannot possibly happen. But wait, yeah, the Heat are the 4 seed. Yeah. And the conference finals, I had the Bucks versus the Heat. The Heat are the 4 seed, Bucks the 1 seed. And Ben had the Bucks and the Celtics. Ben had the Celtics right at 3. Something I didn't have. So interesting. He had the Celtics in the East Conference Finals. I have the Heat. I honestly still have the Heat now. I would have Heat Raptors. New prediction.
All right.
Heat Raptors. Ben, what are your new predictions?
So I had the 3 seed, the 4 seed. I had the 3 and the 4 seeds right. I did not have the 5 or the 6 right. I had the Pacers at the 6 seed, 76ers at 5. So I think I'll still have the Heat. I'll have the Heat advancing to the semis this time rather than losing first round. But I still think that the Heat will come up short against the Bucks, even though I think it'll be a good series. I think that, honestly, I think the Raptors come out of the East right now.
Wow. I think the Raptors have a better shot than the Bucks.
So that's what I'm gonna have. And you have the Heat coming out?
I'm split between the Heat and the Raptors. You guys gotta give me let me see the first series, or at least the play-in games. Then I'll have a full take. By next episode, the episode after, I will have a full take.
All right.
Because we'll be talking basketball for a while here.
Yeah, we got a lot.
We got a lot. NBA draft, etc. Free agency. West, we got the Lakers versus the Grizzlies. Could happen. Most likely going to be the Trailblazers. Minnesota Lakers beating the Pelicans.
That did not happen.
Absolutely awful take because the Pelicans are nowhere near that is seed. Hate to blame you there, Ben, but the Lakers play the Mavericks. The Mavericks are the 7 seed.
Yeah.
I don't know my West as well as I know my East.
Man.
The West is now finalized, by the way. The West is moved around the 4 through 6 seeds. The Thunder are currently in 4, Rockets in 5, Jazz in 6. Just depends what happens in those games. I'll be interested to watch those later today. Ben had the Clippers beating the Thunder.
I was off.
Clippers are the 2 seed, but the Thunder are currently the 4th. Move down the Mavericks, or the Jazz. Oh wait, no, Nuggets versus the OKC Thunder. I had the Nuggets winning in 6. Nuggets are the 3 seed. Thunder could end up being the 6 seed. Currently in 4, but if they lose their game, Rockets win. I mean, I had the right prediction. Ben has the Mavericks beating the Nuggets. Mavericks are solidified in 7, so that cannot happen. Move on a little bit more. We're going to have the Jazz versus the Rockets. Could very well happen. Maybe be 5 and 4 instead of 4 and 5. Switch the orders, but I think that's a pretty good prediction. And then Ben also has the Rockets and the Jazz opposite seeded. Good predictions there for Ben and I. Second round, Lakers Rockets. Odds Lakers. Ben also has the Lakers in 5. Same minds. Lakers Nuggets. Clippers Nuggets could easily happen. And Ben has the Mavericks beating the Clippers. I did not remember that.
At this point, I wish I could change that prediction. I doubt that's going to happen, but...
Ime Udoka. Julian Gonzalez. Who is Ime Udoka? Ben, do you know who that is?
Did they comment?
I've seen his name once. He is a former player. He's an assistant for Brett Brown and the 76ers.
Was that a comment?
That was a comment. Thank you very much for the comment, Julian Gonzalez. Looking into him a little bit, he seems decent, but why Sixers?
Yeah.
He was under the Greg Popovich coaching tree in San Antonio. I looked it up a little bit. But why Ime Udoka? What? I don't know.
Give us a comment again.
Look at Jack Vaughn. He's no longer watching, but thank you for the comment. We appreciate it. Sorry to not get back to you sooner. But now we're going to go to the Western Conference semifinals. We have Lakers, Clippers. Lakers win in 6. Ben has the Lakers beating the Mavericks in 6. Ben having the 7th seed in the conference finals. Wow. All I will say is wow. Moving on to the finals, I have the Bucks, Lakers, which I no longer have now. I just want to point that out there. LeBron wins Finals MVP. I still agree with that. I still agree with the Lakers winning it all. Giannis wins regular season MVP. I don't know if I agree with that now. He had an awful bubble. But I just don't know if any of the other stars did well enough that were in contention.
Remember, regular season MVP doesn't have to do with the bubble.
They're not counting it? They officially said that?
They're doing a bubble MVP. They're going to do bubble awards and regular season awards. So we should actually do it.
Booker or Damian Lillard or TJ.
Yeah, we should do our bubble awards later because those happen on Sunday or Saturday maybe.
All right, and then Ben has the Lakers beating the Bucks in 7. I want to talk really quickly about new predictions. Ben, new predictions wise, who do you have being the regular season MVP, and who do you have being the bubble MVP, as well as NBA Finals prediction, matchup, and champion?
Well, I think the regular season MVP has to be Giannis. He was just too good in the regular season. But the bubble MVP is not going to be Giannis. It's going to be someone that was amazing in the regular season and was insane in the bubble. Damian Lillard. I think we had to go with him. I think you agree with me there.
Are they going to put team MVP as well? Like coach award, team, whatever?
Yeah. They're going to put rookie of the bubble, which I think MPJ.
Or bubble.
MPJ was insane. Averaged 24 a game on insane shooting numbers. So I think he'll have to be the rookie of the bubble. And then my finals, I'm going to change it up a little bit. I'm going to have the Clippers beating the Raptors in the finals.
Wow. No Lakers? You think
they
were screwing around there. You know.
I didn't like what I saw.
Changing their matchups. They were putting LeBron at point, dishing the ball. He is more assists than anyone right now.
You're right.
10.2. Resting their good guys. Ben, that is wow.
I think that the Lakers really suffered from the break. I think LeBron.
I don't think they suffered at all. I think they're going to win regardless. I have the Lakers versus, drum roll please, Miami Heat.
Okay, that's
Lakers Heat, NBA Finals. Maybe it's the Raptors, but I see enough from the Raptors.
What time you be home?
I think it'll be Lakers in 5, maybe 6.
Okay.
I think the Lakers get it done easy. I just think there's no way the Lakers don't win it this year, in my opinion. I just think.
So I just want to harp on this quickly. From what I watched and from what the stats showed, the Lakers had one of the least efficient offenses in the bubble. LeBron underperformed his regular season stats. Anthony Davis was under 10 points twice. I didn't like what I saw at all. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that's been a nice predictions. Thank you guys for watching.
23 minutes.
23 minutes. Yeah, we're getting a little bit longer videos. We have been having some short podcasts lately. Sorry about that. Wait, have I not said my regular season's Giannis? Bubble is Damian. I have to agree with you on that. Bubble team Suns. I don't know if that's going to be a thing.
I don't know if that's a thing.
Suns coaches.
I think everyone agrees with that.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you for watching another episode of the Chi-Town Sports Podcast. We appreciate it. All the comments was awesome. We always feedback, interaction. Comment, even if you're not live. Comment. Just want to thank you guys for the support. Again, some good views. Hopefully we can get another sub or two off this.
We get a few more subs. Subscribe.
Yeah. I just want to thank you again, and peace. See you in another episode.